Hi, my name's Carn Duff and I'm a dance producer and DJ. So basically what that means is I produce my own stuff, either original trance or dance tracks or create remixes. And the DJ part of it is you go out to clubs or venues or private parties and play in front of a crowd and do a unique mix of material. I've been DJing for just over 10 years now, just hit the decade mark. When I first started, I was originally vinyl turntables and a wee small 2-channel analog mixer, really amateur stuff, and I used to just go down to the record shop and buy cheap, whatever was cheapest, the vinyls. I made quite a collection of techno, bit of rave, bit of hardcore. House wasn't really out then. It's not that it wasn't out, I wasn't really into house. And as I progressed, the equipment changed, my style changed, I started to develop my own sound. And that's really how it all started. Basically from a friend from the age of about 14 and 15 when it all started, my life as DJ. As soon as I started DJing, I automatically started to make my own tracks. I was always into making my own tracks as much as DJing. And I guess the first track that I ever made was a really cheesy and amateur remix of Michael Jackson's You're Not Alone. Back then, I didn't know what the song was called. I thought he sung You're Here With Me, so my remix was called Here With Me. I actually had to listen back to it a few weeks ago. There's good melodies in it, there's a good beat to it. If the MIDI could be remapped and reworked, I actually think it could be quite a good song. That might be a task for the future. Remaster a track 10 years later. Definitely for me, my biggest inspirations would be Tiesto, Paul van Dyk, Armin van Buuren, Lisa Lashes. Definitely Tiesto is the biggest. Since I began DJing and making my own music, Tiesto has been there at the forefront of my inspiration. There's something unique about his playing style in front of a crowd, his mixing, his production. I think it's important as a producer of my own music to take different elements from different artists. So take a bit of Tiesto that I like, a bit of Armin, a bit of Lisa Lashes, and sort of, put it all together to make my own unique take on what I hear and see. There's 2 main bits of software that I use for my production, and that is Reason 6 and Pro Tools LE. Reason 6 is basically a standalone studio where all the electronics are made, all the loops are made, all the sounds are layered, put together. What I use Pro Tools for is for recording the vocals, or mastering the tracks, mixing them further, quantizing and putting audio suites on them. I use plugins called the Wave Suite plugin suite, and it's absolutely beautiful and phenomenal, the effects and processes you can place in your audio and MIDI. And that's basically all I use from start to finish, and it works for me and I love it. So when I'm DJing, the equipment that I use is the top of the range and the latest that I can get. It is, of course, the Pioneer CDJ 2000s. I use a pair of them, and I use a Pioneer DJM 700 mixer. I also use Pioneer's own HDJs 500. Yeah, there's so many DJs, HJB, it's hard to remember what to use. These are phenomenal. These are absolutely fantastic for setting loops on the fly, for skipping through tracks very quickly to find certain bits of a track to jump to, cue points. It's all of course USB now, which means I don't have to carry vinyls around anymore or CDs even. All I need is one, which I use, a Western Digital terabyte USB drive, plug it in, everything's in there, all tracks are analysed, ready to go. It'll tell me the exact key of the music, the BPM of the music, the tempo, the pitch. It'll show you a waveform in front of you, which means you can see where the breakdowns are, where the loud bits are, where the main parts are. Very quickly, it's a touchscreen, got a touch needle point here. And it's amazing at scratching. It's phenomenally good at emulating vinyl. This mixer has built-in effects on it, which are fantastic. So I love effects. I feel as a DJ when you're performing, make it a performance. So if you have an audience in front of you, perform. Do things that make a normal track you're playing unique. Put effects over it. Play with EQ. Bring things in and out. So that's essentially what I use. It's industry standard. These are still above industry standard, but they'll become industry standard. These are my babies. What's next? At the moment I'm currently working on, I'm not working on it, I finished it, my latest album. It's called The Thought of Everything. It contains, at the moment, 7 tracks, hopefully it's going to be 8 tracks. And it's an album that is the thought of everything, so it includes happiness, sadness, reflection on life, the future, what could possibly happen, the past. It reflects me, personally, it reflects how I feel about things that I've done, things that I'm doing, and things that I will do. It's a very positive album, thinking about everything that's came. There's some tracks on it that are originals, most are originals, some are remixes. So I'm very excited to get it out. There is a Darren Hayes remix of it on one of his tracks called Bloodstained Heart, my own Duff remix of it. It has Christy Perry's one of her songs. I always get her name wrong, I don't think that is her name. Jar of Hearts, I made a remix of it, 2012 remix, so hopefully we're going to get that out, get people to hear it. I think we're going to be working on another album by the end, hopefully by Christmas. I have a few tracks up my sleeve, like Autumn Leaves remix, and some of my older stuff that I'm going to remaster. So very exciting times. So please stay tuned, and when this album's out, please buy my album. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's happening.